Hello everyone, my name is Lutriana and my friend.
My name is Trina Vitasari.
I'm gonna interpret Maudi Ayunda's review video of the original book by Adam Grant. Here we go.
Hi curious people, Maudi Ayunda here. Welcome again in my book list di mana aku sharing kisi-kisi menarik dari buku-buku yang aku baca. Dan dari semua isi buku itu, aku akan sharing 3 insights yang personally menarik banget buat aku.
Hi curious people, Maudi Ayunda is here. Welcome again in my book list where I share about the interesting girls from the books that I've read. From this book, I will sharing 3 insights that are interesting for me.
Hari ini kita akan membedah buku The Originals by Adam Grant. Adam Grant adalah seorang psikolog dan penulis Amerika yang saat ini menjadi profesor di Wharton School of UPenn.
Today, we are gonna review a book, The Originals by Adam Grant. Adam Grant is an American psychologist and author, currently a professor at the Wharton School of the University of Penn.
And he specializes in organizational psychology. So super cool person. Dan di buku ini dia menggunakan banyak riset, kisah nyata, pokoknya contoh-contoh gitu ya, menjelaskan kenapa sih successful innovators or originals bisa berhasil ataupun gagal.
And he is specialist in organizational psychology. So super cool person. And in this book, he used various of real story research, and for example, to explain why successful innovator or original can success or fail.
And I learned so much from this book. I learned how to think originally. Aku belajar gimana caranya meningkatkan potensi aku sebagai a successful innovator.
And I learned so much from this book. I learned how to think originally. I learned how to increase my potential as a successful innovator.
Insight pertama, procrastination is not a bad thing. Menunda itu belum tentu buruk ternyata.
The first insight, procrastination is not a bad thing. In fact, procrastination isn't always a bad thing.
Dan ini tuh sebenarnya lumayan mengagetkan ya, karena kan kita sering banget dikasih tahu kalau menunda itu, oh jangan deh, it's such a bad thing. And we have to do things then and there. We have to do things now.
And this it's pretty surprised because we are often taught to not procrastinate because it's a bad thing, and we have to do things, then we have to do things now.
Ditambah lagi, hampir setiap buku self-help yang aku baca itu selalu bilang orang-orang sukses itu nggak pernah menunda. Tapi ternyata di buku ini ada banyak momen-momen jenius yang berasal dari penundaan.
Plus, almost every self-help book that I've read always says that successful people never procrastinate. But in fact, then in these books, there are many moments of genius that come from procrastination.
So for example, kata-kata I have a dream karya Martin Luther King itu sebenarnya hasil improvisasi. Dan alasan kenapa sih bisa improvisasi? Itu ternyata karena Martin Luther King was not that ready. Baru mulai nulis pidatonya malam sebelumnya. Dan karena itu justru Martin Luther King lebih terbuka untuk ide-ide baru.
So for example, the words of I have a dream by Martin Luther King. It is actual produce of improvisation. And the reason why can improvisation, it is because Martin Luther King was not that ready. He just started writing his speech the night before, and because the Martin Luther King more open to new ideas.
So, menurut Adam Grant, Improvisasi itu menunjukkan bahwa penundaan kadang-kadang justru memberikan ruang bagi otak manusia untuk mengembangkan ide-ide lain yang cemerlang. Karena kita justru lebih terbuka gitu dengan ide-ide baru yang bermunculan mungkin lebih secara spontan.
So, according to Adam Grant, improvisation, so that procrastination sometimes actually provides space for the human brain to develop other more brilliant ideas because we are actually more open to new ideas that might appear spontaneously.
So, implikasinya mungkin kita harus memanfaatkan penundaan sebagai strategi pada saat kita nyari ide. Di situ kita bertahap ya, berjalan sambil membuka otak kita kepada ide-ide baru.
So the implication is that maybe we should use procrastinations as a strategy when we are looking for ideas. There will gradually walk while opening our brains to new ideas.
Another example adalah Leonardo da Vinci, yang ternyata adalah sosok yang lumayan suka menunda. Jadi lukisan Mona Lisa itu memerlukan waktu 16 tahun untuk akhirnya selesai.
Another example is Leonardo da Vinci, who changed to be pretty person who likes to procrastinate. So the Mona Lisa painting needs 16 years to finish.
Dan in that time, Da Vinci itu bereksperimen dengan ilusi optik dan teknis melukis lainnya. Dan karena bereksperimen, ia kembali ke Mona Lisa dengan pola pikir dan ide baru yang berbeda. Dan hasilnya, as you all know.
And in that time, Da Vinci was do the experiment with optical illusions and other paintings techniques. And because of the experiment, he returned to Mona Lisa with a different mindset and new ideas. The result is as you all know.
Insight nomor 2 yang gak kalah mengagetkan, quantity of ideas is important. Jumlah ide itu penting.
The second insight, no less surprising, is quantity of ideas is important. Number of ideas is important.
Menurut Adam Grant, semakin banyak ide yang kita produksi, semakin besar kemungkinan untuk meningkatkan kualitas ide kita. And that's interesting, karena banyak banget orang yang bilang quality over quantity. Tapi menariknya dalam hal ide, kuantitas dan kualitas itu sama pentingnya.
According to Adam Grant, the more idea was produced, the more likely it is to improve the quality of our ideas. And that's interesting because many people say that that quality over quantity. But interesting in terms of ideas that quality and quantity is just as important.
Hal ini didukung oleh penelitian dari psikolog yang menemukan bahwa individu-individu yang kita anggap kreatif atau inovatif umumnya nggak selalu menghasilkan ide yang lebih baik, tapi mereka menghasilkan lebih banyak ide daripada yang lain.
This is supported by research from psychologists who found that individuals who are considered creative or innovative generally do not always come up with better ideas, but they produce more ideas than others.
So interesting, right? Karena mereka punya banyak sekali ide, maka kemungkinannya lebih tinggi untuk mereka mengembangkan ide-ide yang brilian.
So interesting, okay, because they have a lot of ideas, then the chance are higher for them to develop brilliant ideas.
Dari buku Pablo Picasso. Picasso kan terkenal dengan beberapa karya seni ya, tapi nggak banyak yang tahu kalau portfolionya tuh sebenarnya ribuan patung, lukisan, gambar, puluhan ribu gitu.
There are examples from books. Pablo Picasso is famous for several works of art, but not many people know that his portfolio is actually thousands. For example, sculptures, paintings, drawings, tens of thousands.
Jadi banyaknya karya-karya Picasso itu akhirnya melahirkan beberapa ide-ide berkualitas yang mendorongnya ke kesuksesan.
So many of Picasso's works finally produce in some quality ideas that support his success.
Berarti nih, sebaiknya kita jangan hanya berfokus pada beberapa ide berkualitas aja. Malah kita harus menghasilkan ide sebanyak mungkin.
It means, on the other hand, we should not only focus on a few quality ideas. Instead, we must produce many ideas as possible.
Menurut Adam Grant, kita harus memberi waktu bagi ide-ide untuk datang juga. Oleh karena itu, kita jangan mudah menolak ide atau memaksakan ide apapun juga. We have to stay open so that we can produce as many ideas as possible.
According to Adam Grant, we have to give time for ideas to come. Therefore, we should not easily reject the idea or force the idea. We have to stay open, and so that we can produce many ideas as possible.
Insight ketiga, and one of my favorites, mencoba bidang baru itu penting. Ada satu studi besar yang dibahas di bukunya, di mana mereka membandingkan para ilmuwan pemenang Nobel Prize dengan rekan-rekan mereka yang berprestasi juga tapi nggak memenangkan Nobel Prize.
In the third insight, and on my favorite, trying a new field is important. There is one major study discussed in his book, in which they compared Nobel Prize winning scientists with their college who did well but not win the Nobel Prize.
Jadi studi ini tuh trying to identify apa aja sih skills atau personality yang membedakan para pemenang Nobel Prize ini, dan apa aja yang membuat karya mereka itu bisa ke next level.
So this study is about trying to identify the skills or personality that distinguish the Nobel Prize winners, and what makes them to able go to the next level.
Awalnya aku nih langsung berasumsi ini pasti karena mereka lebih rajin, kerja lebih keras, atau lebih sering menghabiskan waktu di lab gitu kan. Tapi ternyata sebaliknya, and this is so shocking. Mereka menemukan bahwa itu tidak terjadi sama sekali, but actually yang membedakan adalah kecenderungan para ilmuwan untuk mencoba bidang-bidang lain.
At first, I immediately assumed it must be because they were more diligent, hard worker, or spend a lot of time in the lab. But on the other hand, this is so shocking. They found that it didn't happen at all. But what really made the difference was the tendency of scientists to try other field.
Jadi pemenang hadiah Nobel biasanya terlibat dalam musik, seni, kerajinan, nulis, atau some theatrical arts. And this is super interesting, it's super unexpected. Dan walaupun kita tetap harus careful, correlation doesn't always equal causation.
So Nobel Prize winners are usually involved in music, arts, craft, writing, or some theatrical art, and this is super interesting and super unexpected. Although we still have to be careful, correlation doesn't always equal causation.
Tapi paling enggak, kita bisa mikir orang yang memiliki minat yang bervariasi mungkin bisa melihat dari sudut yang berbeda. Dan ide-ide atau inovasi-inovasi dari bidang tersebut itu bisa mereka bawa juga ke karya mereka yang sedang mereka jalani sekarang.
But at least we can think that people with varied interest might see things from different point of view, and ideas or innovators from that field they can also bring to their current work.
And now, so what? How do we put the book into action?
And now, so what? How do we put the book into action?
Menurut aku, insight yang pertama yang soal penundaan itu agak tricky ya. Karena nggak semua hal di dunia ini tuh bisa kita tunda. There are deadlines in life.
I think the first insight about procrastination is a bit cringy. It's a bit cringy because we can postpone everything in this world. They are a deadline.
Tapi mungkin untuk project-project kreatif atau hal-hal yang more idea based, mungkin akan aku beri ruang lebih banyak gitu ya dengan penundaan tadi supaya bisa semakin cepat.
But maybe for creative project or things that have more ideas, there will be more so that they can be more mature.
And finally, I just want to say that I really appreciate this book karena benar-benar membuat aku bertanya tentang asumsi-asumsi aku yang lama. Dan aku paling suka kalau misalnya ada something that challenges the way that I think, because then I know that I'm not right.
And finally, I just want to say that I really appreciate this book because this book really make me ask about an assumptions, and I liked something the most challenges the weather I think because then I know there I'm going.
So anyways, thanks for listening, curious people. If you want me to read a book and share with you my favorite insights, kasih book recommendations di komen di bawah. I definitely read them. Dan jangan lupa untuk subscribe and turn on notifications to make sure that you don't miss any of my videos. Bye!
So, anyways, thank you for listening, curious people. If you want me read a book and share with my read insight, give me a book recommendation in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification to make sure that you don't miss any my videos. Bye bye. Thank you.